The child was now awakened and was happy to see his family, but when he did not see Tonia, he asked where she was. This made his grandmother even more angry. She stood quietly, trying to hold her peace. Immediately after, the doctor came into the room and told them that the child could finish recovery at home, but he would remain in the hospital until the following day for observation. Deandre got home that evening and was greeted at the door by Tonia's belongings. He tried to apologize to her, but his excuses weren't convincing her to stay. Tonia, on top of her voice, frantically reminded him of everything they had been through, and how she had to take the child, bringing him to work when he couldn't and attending to him when necessary or when the mother was being spiteful. She shut him up at every attempt to speak, and, with pain in her eyes, she left him standing right there. The next morning, before the child left the hospital, Tonia stopped by to visit because she was going away. She had to see him because she didn't think the child did anything to her and so she couldn't leave without saying goodbye. The baby boy's grandmother and parents were on their way out of the hospital as well. They were in the lobby waiting for the father to collect the child's medication when Tonia came up and kneeled down at his chair, saying goodbye, and they both began crying. After talking to him, she walked away. The child's mother was about to speak, and for the first time, she was finally shut up by Deandre. She was about to tell him not to let her go. The child looked up at his father and lectured him on the slim chance of him finding another woman like Tonia in today's world. He gave his mother the side eye as he spoke. They were surprised, and when they asked where he got that, he said Tonia would be gone by the time he could explain. The father ran out of the hospital and stood behind Tonia, pleading with her as she was about to get into a waiting vehicle. He cried and expressed with all his heart how scary life would be without her in it. His words of how sorry he was could shift the entire planet from darkness to light. Tonia, although still mad at him, asked him a few questions before turning around. She told him that she would forgive him based on a few conditions, one of which she asked him how many Mrs. Wright he will have in his world. He replied, "The only one I plan to give my heart to." He proposed to her and she said yes. They got married in a small ceremony. The baby mother now knows her place. The grandmother is now the babysitter, and they were happy again.